All right, hey guys, this is Jonathan Von Aw coming at you live from my living room to your living room, and we are discussing geometry so that we can be prepared to pass on all sorts of different tests, GED, high set, college entrance exams, you name it. Okay, so this video we're going to learn how to find the surface area and the volume of prisms. All right, so you might be wondering, well, what's a prism? That kind of sounds kind of new agey, right? Well, no, in math, a prism is, well, I'm going to give you a definition here and I'm going to explain it. A prism is just a three-dimensional figure whose two bases are identical polygons, and whose sides are polygons that join the bases together. Now that's a mouthful, so let me illustrate. All right, so for example, take a look at this right here. Looks like a box, right? Well, technically it's a prism. Why? Well, because first of all, it's a three-dimensional figure, okay? The two bases, right? The top right here and the bottom, right? You can see the top right here, and the bottom is right below it. They are identical polygons. They're identical rectangles. And the sides, look at the sides. I have 4 sides. The 4 sides are also polygons. They're rectangles that join the bases together. See how these sides just kind of join the top and bottom together? That's just a prism. Okay, I'll give you another example here. This is also a prism. It's kind of like a triangular prism. Huh? This is a rectangular prism. Here's a triangular prism. Right? Three-dimensional figure, check. The two bases are identical polygons. Base down there. Right? Those are both triangles, identical polygons. And whose sides are polygons. Look at the sides. That side's a rectangle, isn't it? There's 3 sides, all rectangles that join the two bases together. Right? You got a prism. Okay? And there's all sorts of different pictures I could draw. Make sure you check out in the description on this video, there's a link that will take you to notes for this lecture and upcoming lectures. And it will show you, it gives you a whole formula sheet. It has definitions, it has pictures, it has formulas. Check it out, it's in the description below. All right, so let's get right into some mathematics, all right? So let's say I want to find this rectangular prism. I want to find the surface area of that. And here's the problem, right? It says the box needs to be wrapped in paper for shipment. How many square inches of paper will need to be used? All right. How many square inches of paper will need to be used? All right, so basically they're just asking for surface area. Okay, so how do I find the surface area of this rectangular prism? Well, remember, it's just the sum total of all the area of all the sides. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to number these. Well, actually, I'm going to not number them. I'm going to put a letter. So I got the top and I got the bottom, right? I got the 2 sides. And I got the front. And I got the back. Okay, you can label them however you want. Basically a top, bottom, side and side, and a front and a back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area. Let's go area of the front. Now what you'll notice is the area of the front is the same as the area of the back. So I'm going to go area of the front and back. I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. By the way, where do they get that saying from? I'm not sure. All right. So area of the front and back. So remember the area of, this is a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is length times width. So I'm going to go ahead and write down my formula so that I always remember that. Okay, so I just got to figure out, okay, what's my length? All right, so I'm dealing with this rectangle in the front here. Well, this is basically a 3 by 8. All right, so I got a 3 by 8, or 8 by 3, it doesn't really matter, right? So 3 times 8, that's 24. Now those are inches, correct? So that's inches times inches. Do you know what inches times inches are? You got it. Inches squared. All right, so that's not my final answer though. That's just the front and back. Okay, now I got to figure out the area of, well, let's just do the top and bottom, huh? Top and bottom. Okay, so on the top I have this rectangle. Okay, so I just need to know the length and the width. So this is what? The length is 8, right? And the width, well, it says it right here, is 10. So this is an 8 by 10 or a 10 by 8. Okay, so I'm going to go 8 by 10. So 8 times 10 is 80. Again, that's inches times inches, so that's inches squared or square inches. Okay, so now I have 2 more sets, or 1 more set of 2. I got the area of my 2 sides. Again, you can label them however you want. This is just typically how I do it. Area of my 2 sides. Okay, so that side right there, that is, what's the dimensions on that? Well, it's a 10 by, what's the length of that right there? Well, that length right there is the same as that length right there. So that's a 3, so it's a 3 by 10. So length times width equals 3 times 10, or 10 times 3. And that's going to give me 30 inches squared. Okay, now what I need to do is, well, how do I find my total surface area? Well, how about we do this? Area total. Total surface area. I just add these up. All right, so 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So that's 134 square inches. All right? So let's see if, always see, did that answer the question? Here's the question. How many square inches of paper will need to be used to wrap this entire box? Well, I'm going to need 134 square inches. All right, so good. I got that. Okay, but let's use this same rectangular prism to do a volume problem. All right, here's the next problem. Okay, and again, this is all in the notes in the description below. Okay, the box is filled with dog food, let's say. The customer needs 250 cubic inches of food. Will this box be big enough? So, let's use a different color now. We need 250 cubic inches. Will that be, is this box big enough? Is that going to be greater than or equal to 250? Well, how do I find the volume of a prism? Well, I want you to think of it this way. If I find the area of that base, let's say I were to find the area of this base, all right? And then just picture that base filled with water, just maybe a half an inch deep. All right? So if I took that area and then just filled that area, if I kept on stacking that area on top of each other until I got all the way to the top, I would fill that box, right? So basically, I just need to multiply the area of this base times the height of that prism. All right? So the volume is going to be the area of my base times my height. All right? So a lot of people will just do 3 times 8 times 10, and that's fine. However, when we get to cylinders, we're not going to be able to do that. This, however, will still be true for cylinders. So I would rather learn one method than to learn 2 different methods, right? Less for me to remember. All right, so there's my volume. I'm just going to take the area of that base, fill it up to the top. With that area, I get my volume. All right, so let's take a look here. What is the area of my base? Well, it's just going to be an 8 by 10, correct? 8 by 10. So I get 8. I'll go ahead and put the units in for this one. 8 inches times 10 inches. Okay. This here, upside down. That's the area of my base. Now I got to multiply that by my height. What's my height? 3 inches. 3 inches. All right, so what do I end up for my total volume? Well, there's like 3 different ways you can do this. I can go 8 times 10 times 3. But 8 times 10 is 80. 80 times 3, 240. A little bit harder, huh? Or I could go like this. 3 times 8 is 24. Times 10 is 240. Or I could go 10 times 3 is 30. And 30 times 8 is 240. Here's the deal. Choose the easiest way. In my humble opinion, I think it's easiest to go 8 times 3 is 24, because I can multiply by 10 real easy, right? Just add a 0. 3 times 8 is 24, times 10 is 240. So that's going to be 240. Now, 240 what? Well, take a look. I got inches times inches times inches. What is that? What is inches times inches times inches? Inches cubed, or cubic inches. All right, that is my volume. Okay, now remember, before you answer, always go back to the question. What's the question? The question is, the customer needs 250 cubic inches of food. Will this box be big enough? He needs 250. This box is only 240 cubic inches. So that is less than 250 cubic inches. So the answer is no. No. So you'll have to either get 2 of these boxes, or you'll have to get a bigger box, or you'll have to go down the street and shop elsewhere. All right? So that's it. That's how to find the surface area and the volume of prisms. All right, I hope this video was helpful to you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way, I make videos on a regular basis. You can get videos, you can be notified when new videos come out. Also, don't forget, take a look at the description below. I got a link there that will give you the notes for all of these lectures on surface area and volume. All right? Until then, may God richly bless you, my friends.